Okay, this is the Zionist entity. Here's Gaza, and here's Quds, here's Jerusalem. Here's the West Bank. This is a misrepresentation. The West Bank is actually completely occupied and cut up by Israel and constantly expanding. The settlements, Israeli settlements, are constantly expanding. Just last week, about a dozen new settlements were announced. So the West Bank, not only is Israel completely leveling Gaza, forcing the Palestinians into small areas of Gaza in order to get food because they're starving to death, forcing them to go into isolated locations, concentration camps basically, and killing them there and making the situation so intolerable that if they don't leave, if they don't try to leave and cross into the Sinai, into Egypt, this is the Sinai Peninsula, see here, if they don't move out into the Sinai, then they're going to starve to death. They're going to starve to death. That's the situation that Israel is trying to create with its blockade of Gaza. The West Bank right now is under lockdown. That's the level of control that Israel has over the West Bank. They can lock it down. They can force the Palestinians in the West Bank to just be locked up, and they can't travel on the roads. They can't move across the roads. Otherwise, they'll be shot and killed. In not only in Hebron and Jerusalem, all these places are completely locked down, and they're expanding. At the same time, you have the Syrian army, not the Syrian, the Israeli IDF, is doing operations in southern Syria as we speak. They're attacking villages as we speak. Now, I'll pull up some of the tweets that are discussing this. They are aggressively pushing into southern Syria, and guess what? There's no response from the Syrian government, from Ahmed Shara. And then southern Libya as well, Lebanon as well, being occupied by the IDF after they came to a ceasefire agreement with Hezbollah and with the Lebanese government. What came of that? Just a permanent occupation of southern Lebanon. So what is happening? What is happening? And then Jordan, of course, is completely a secure border on the east. Jordan is protecting Israel, the vassal of Israel. So they have neutralized all of the surrounding threats. And that's always been the overarching strategy of Zionism from the very beginning. In 1947 and 1948, what was supposed to happen was that that territory, the Palestinian territory, which was under British control, was supposed to be divided. It was supposed to be divided between the Palestinians and the Jews. And the Jewish state was going to be Israel. And what did the Jews do? They went against the British. They committed terrorist acts dressed as Arabs in order to incite war against the Palestinians, in order to grab more land for themselves. And then finally, they took the matter into their own hands when Britain wouldn't agree to terrorize the Palestinians, going into villages, massacring thousands of Palestinians so that they would flee. They fled their homes. This was the Nakba. And where did the Palestinians flee? They flee to Jordan. They fled into Egypt, Lebanon, Syria. And these were the first wave of Palestinian refugees that spread throughout the Middle East. And Israel's entire goal has been to clear out the Palestinians completely so that they take the land that they believe has been promised to them by God. And what is the territories of that land? They'll never admit this, except when they publish articles inadvertently in the Jerusalem Post. Remember, I think that was 6 months ago, they published an article about how Israel should be taking all the land that is rightfully theirs, which includes Lebanon, which includes Damascus, which includes the Sinai. But the territories are from the Nile to the Euphrates. So here's the Nile here, going down Egypt. This is the Nile, all the way to the Euphrates, which is here in Iraq. This is Greater Israel, and it also extends all the way past Syria, all of the Levant, all of Sham, basically. This is a Greater Israel. This is what they want, they believe is rightfully theirs, and it's rightfully belonging to the Jews. As promised, it's not a optional thing, according to their religion, Rabbinic Judaism, to conquer this land. It's an obligation because this is what God has promised, and part of that obligation is to wipe clean, to ethnically cleanse the land so that it's only for the chosen people. And that's what they're doing. That's what they've been doing. So the first step of that plan, if that is your plan to expand and to take over and control and eventually clear out and occupy, the first thing is that you have to eliminate any aggressor. You have to eliminate any kind of threat. So after the Nakba, after the establishment of the state of Israel, immediately you had Egypt and you had Syria attack. You had Iraq attack. You had Lebanon attack Israel. And there was a kind of united Arab front against Israel. And I won't go through the history of all the wars that preceded. But Israel determined that this cannot continue. We cannot be continuously under threat from these neighboring countries, from Syria, from Egypt, from Jordan, from Iraq, from Lebanon. We have to, one by one, neutralize these threats and bring them to their knees. And that's the only way that an Israeli state can survive. And that's what they've done. That's what they've done. So look at everything that is surrounding Israel. Each one has been co-opted, has been bought off. With the help of who? With the help of the United States. There has been regime change. Look at what happened to Iraq in the first Gulf War and the second Gulf War in 2003. Look at what happened to Saddam. Look at what happened to Libya with Gaddafi. Another enemy of Israel. Gaddafi was overthrown and killed. And now what is happening to Libya? It's just a state in the throes of constant civil war. Look at what is happening in Lebanon. Civil war. Occupation and what is essentially a destabilized country. Same with Syria. Jordan is bought off. Saudi is on the verge of normalizing. You have the Gulf states. All of them bought off. So this is Israel protecting itself from its regional neighbors, protecting itself. But the logic is that we have to preemptively go and take over all of these countries, either by making sure that they're in constant civil war, or they're bought off, they're in our pocket. And if they continue to defy us, then it's going to be regime change. It's going to be invasion, and it's going to be decapitation. And that's what's been happening. Saddam, for example, refused to bend the knee. Gaddafi refused to bend the knee in Libya. What happened to them? So this becomes an existential threat for the entire Middle East. And I don't understand why these countries are not understanding it. Why aren't the Muslims in these countries recognizing? Why can't they read the writing on the wall? Like, what's going to happen? Like, all of these people who are so supportive of Jolani as his country is bombed, as Syria is being bombed, and you have expansion of the IDF into all of the southern region, and they're now going in and arresting Syrian civilians with impunity. Like, the IDF is just going and arresting Syrian civilians in the villages. Where's this? There's no sovereignty. Like, Syria has no sovereignty. Lebanon has no sovereignty.